Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of colors by the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department Honor Guard. And now, please welcome your hosts for this morning's opening gavel ceremony. NALEO President, former New Mexico statewide elected official, and current member of the New Mexico Commission of Public Records, the Honorable Brian Colon.
Good morning, everybody. It is a pleasure to be before you. And how about those mariachis as we started the morning? Viva la gente, viva la cultura, and viva this beautiful United States of America, 250 years of history. As we begin this incredible celebration and conference, please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, you may be seated. And feel free to start on those awesome looking pastries at the center of the table. Huh? Those look pretty great. Now wait a minute, I didn't say start visiting, I just said grab a pastry. You gotta stay locked in with me for just a bit here this morning. All right. All right, grab your seat and let's give another round of applause to the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department Honor Guard. Give them a debt of gratitude. You know, let me just say this. My friends, you know, we do a couple things better than most. When you get a bunch of Latinas and Latinos in the room, we do a couple things better than most. And part of that is recognizing and looking through the lens from whence we came. And that lens is a lens of gratitude. And let us begin this morning by offering gratitude to those who are often invisible in rooms like this. But when I think of my Speaker of the House, Javier Martinez, who you're going to meet later today, I know that he never misses an opportunity to say, let the people who are serving us this morning not be invisible, because most of them look like us. Mil gracias a la gente, sus servidores aquí. We are grateful for them. Secondly, as we gave that Pledge of Allegiance, and as we offered gratitude to that color guard from the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, let us now take another moment and reflect upon the overrepresentation for 250 years of those who've served this country. Because when you look at those who've served this country, You'll see a lot of people of color. You will see an overrepresentation of Latinos. And you will see people who allow us to gather today to serve others. So let us ask the veteranos who are able to stand in the room to stand and be recognized by those of us who serve you. The work that our veterans have done and the sacrifices you've made for the defense of our nation have kept America the beacon of light that she has been for 250 years. It's so special this morning to celebrate America's 250th, and I'll just say, NALEO has been a part of that 250-year landscape for 20%, right? Are we here at the 50th anniversary of NALEO, the vision of Congressman Roy Ball? So NALEO does some things in a way that no one else can, like bringing you into the mariachis, embracing la cultura, embracing the herencia of our people and our culture that is so diverse, whether you're Peruvian or you're from Mexico or you're like me, the red-headed, freckle-faced Puerto Rican Jew. We're diverse. We're diverse. But I want to tell you something. When we're embracing the cultura, I'm going to tell you this morning you're in for a treat. Because without further ado, I'd like to introduce a very special guest. Now, I saw this superstar, and I was blown away. I was on my little TV, because I don't have a big screen like a lot of you in this room, but I got my little TV, and I was blown away. And then I was blown away to learn about the story behind the story. How many of you have heard of Neza? She is a singer, songwriter, and vocal powerhouse whose music will move us all this morning. She's going to offer a special rendition of our national anthem, El Pendón Estrellado, the official Spanish language version of our national anthem. Now, let me just say, this particular anthem has about an 80-year history of our landscape in celebrating America. Because it was in 1945, United States Department of State, under President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, as part of the Good Neighbor policy, he had this commissioned and translated by Peruvian-American composer Clotilde Arias, and commissioned it to be sung to the original melody of our national anthem. And then followed by the patriotic melody of This Land Is Your Land. Remember when we were kids, we used to sing that one? Recuerde or no? Oh, yeah, yes or yes, yes. Yeah. This microphone's still working, right? I still have you? Okay, good, because you got me all breakfast long. I mean, come on. You got to pace yourself. And then it's followed by the land, your land, and then America the Beautiful. So this morning, we're in for that treat, because you may have seen it on TV. You may not have known the story behind the story that had FDR embrace this cultura of ours, the Latinos and Latinas of the globe. But I'm going to ask you all to rise if you're able, and then I'm going to bring out somebody who is a superstar. She is part of the musical landscape of the globe. And we couldn't be more honored and pleased to have this gracious young leader. She brought her boyfriend too, and a whole entourage. It's kind of cool. And they all got cool names, but she's got the coolest name of all. She's going to knock your socks off. Please rise and join me in this rendition of a beautiful tribute to our country that's done by the one and only Neza.
Mirad, puedes ver al sol clarear, lo que erguido se alzó cuando el sol se ocultaba y sus franjas y estrellas en el rudo luchar sobre recio baluarte gallardo ondulaba y la bomba lanzar su rojizo una tierra de valor en libre país. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This next rendition is fun. Please join along if you know it. I'm sure we all learned it in elementary school. But yeah, This Land Is Your Land. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I went walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. Oh, this land, oh, this land. This land was made for you and me. Oh, this land, oh, this land. This land was made for you and me. Oh. America, America, God shed His grace on thee and grant thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Una nación bajo Dios, indivisible. This land was made for you and everyone now. Me. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right, all right, all right. How was that? All right, if you don't have some energy at this point, I need you to raise your hand because we're calling the doctor and checking your pulse. Because I just don't think you joined us this morning and you don't know it yet. So, Neza, that was phenomenal, and I can't imagine feeling the emotions that I had back there and reflecting upon the people who came before us. That give us the privilege of coming together as Latino leaders from around the country to be able to be in this place, in these positions, as leaders in this country who provide an opportunity for young Latinas, for young women of color, for little Latino boys to be able to look up to people in positions of power and see a reflection of themselves. That's what NALEO supports every single day. So this is your welcome address. And mira, they're going to serve some food, no? Because they're going to give you the food right while I'm talking. so that you have something to throw up here if I go too long. I want you to feel comfortable. I'm supposed to go 5 minutes, which means I'll go about 8. And I'll tell you, my CEO, Erica, how about for Erica and the staff of NALEO? They're crushing it. And I got so many former presidents in the room, like Pauline and all that have set us up to be right here where we are today. With a sold-out, record-breaking number of elected officials coming together from 33 states all over America to say this 50th anniversary matters. The vision of Congressman Roybal mattered. And we will continue to build on that foundation and legacy. So for me, as a little mocosito who grew up in Valencia County, New Mexico, that shares the journey of so many in this room, I will tell you I'm humbled. Because I look out at our stakeholders, our investors, our elected officials, our appointed officials, our staffers, and I'm inspired. I'm inspired to know that my little son, Rafael, my father's namesake, has an opportunity to live in a country that is led by people of color who understand his story and look through his lens. And that matters. That matters. So with that, somehow the board said that Colon, and they didn't say cabron, they said Colon. They really did. Huh? I just wanted to see if you were listening. If I offended anybody in the room, stay after and I'll apologize personally, because Erica's freaking out. She's like, the mic is on, Colon. You know, this is the one place where I can come together and people don't call me a colon all day. I mean, I'm actually Brian Colon here. It's pretty cool. That's right. And let me just say, as Brian Colon from Valencia County, New Mexico, a first-generation college graduate, I get to call this 43rd Annual Conference to order. Boom! And as we're being served by these beautiful, beautiful people here, which we should start that anytime you like, I want you to feel comfortable eating and clanking your forks and your spoons. Don't worry about that. You just make yourself comfortable. Because we're pausing on this 50th anniversary of NALEO, the vision of Congressman Roybal and the people who stood with him. 50 years, this organization has been showing up for elected officials, centering their communities, their gente, for the people that we all serve. Half a century, 20% of the existence of this nation. That doesn't happen by accident or without a lot of hard work. It could not be more important for us to come together at this moment in time. And it's so fitting that we're here in Los Angeles, this beautiful city of angels, because this is where that vision was set forth. This city is a representation of exactly what we advocate for, exactly what we work for, exactly for the people that are in our corazones. This city was built by people who came from everywhere and stayed to create something. They stayed to create something, whether they were Mexican workers, Filipino nurses, Central American familias, or immigrant entrepreneurs from every flippin' corner of the world. They came here to build something for comunidad. Los Angeles doesn't just reflect what America is, it reflects what America is still becoming. And it's a beautiful tapestry of people. And quite frankly, our people. People of color, Latinos, that deserve a voice and a seat at every table in this country. Every table in this country. Hey, and let me just not miss the opportunity to say, how about a big round of applause? Alcalde just walked in. Mayor Bass, we're so glad you're here. Thank you very much. How about that big round of applause? Talk about young girls of color looking up and seeing Mayor Bass. Now, I know they're inspired by you every single day. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Now, let's get serious for just a moment, because it's a serious time. And this doesn't happen often. This NALEO way the spirit of collaboration that brings us together. Let's just be candid for just a moment and just say, if you sit on the left of the spectrum right now in this moment, whether it's because you observed what happened in Houston, what happened in Maine, you're exhausted. You're frustrated. And throughout the past couple of years, you've had more than one occasion to be outright furious. If you sit on the right, you're also in this room. But in today's moment, you're probably just exhausted. Because even when you agree with the direction the country's going, you're still spending all your time defending it. You're investing that energy to defend it instead of being able to lead. That's exhausting. Left or right, fatigue or fury, that's where a lot of us are right now. That's a tough spot to be in. But I'm here to tell you, I've got some medicine. And it's not the Vicks that my mama put on my bottom of my feet. For those of our sponsors in this room, stay afterwards, I'll tell you about the Vicks. Huh? Because the rest of you know, no? Yes or yes, right? You know, put it on my feet. What in the world is going to happen from my feet to my head? Because then she's going to put it on my chest and on my nose, and then I go to school and the kids will make fun of me. What do you smell like, Colon? I say, well, at least I don't smell like a colon. No, I'm just kidding. Look. And this conference, this NALEO conference, look, I made Mayor Bass laugh. That's it. I'm done. All done. Ya estuvo. I'm done. Let's be real. This 72 hours, the next 3 days, is a chance to step out of that fatigue, to release that fury. Even in this moment, the timing, honestly, couldn't be more difficult. But we don't have to ignore that that's where we're at. But we can approach this the next 72 hours, not to pretend that the challenges aren't real, but to be with people who understand the burden and opportunity you carry as leaders, as elected officials, as staff members, as appointed officials. People who got into public service for the same reason you did are sitting right at that table with you. And they may be on the left and they may be on the right, but they're here with you today. Because they believe this country can do better. They stepped up to serve because they weren't willing to say, I'll let someone else make it happen, to allow our country to realize her potential. That in fact, yes, I will run for mayor. Yes, I will run for the House of Representatives. Yes, I will run for the school board. Yes, I will run for constitutional office. NALEO is the nonpartisan center square of Latino elected and appointed officials in this country. There is no other organization in the country that leads from the bottom to the top when it comes to the political landscape and brings people together regardless of political affiliation. There are organizations out there doing good work. I pay my dues to those organizations too every year, which, by the way, if you're not a lifetime member, please sign up today. This message brought to you by NALEO. While those other organizations are out there doing important work, there's nothing that reaches from the school board to the United States Senate the way NALEO does. That's just a fact. The vertical reach, that vertical reach is not an accident. It was by design. It is a choice that we make, and it reflects something I genuinely believe. And that is that the richest soil for growing the next generation of Latino leaders is right here at the local level, from the school board on up. Because board supervisors, city council members, school board members, local elected officials, municipal leaders, you are often our comunidad's first encounter with government. That Latino family who's on the margin trying to survive is never going to reach out to their United States Senator, but they might see you at a town hall. They might see you at a school board meeting. So you need to be empowered to know that you are not entry-level elected officials. You are foundational to the country's political landscape. Foundational. NALEO has been consistent, reliable, presente, effective, and fiercely bipartisan. Not because we don't have individual values and political beliefs, but because we understand that if we're going to deliver results in this country for our communities of color, it doesn't require just working across the aisle, because our people do our best work across the table when there's comida in the center. Right? Yes or yes? I got a thumbs up from Pauline. I'm doing okay. I love it. And that work across the table, grateful for you. That work across the table, it's the NALEO standard. It's our commitment that as an institution and individuals, we're going to make this kind of space the place where real conversations can take place. It's that safe space. How many of us have heard of, oh, let's create a safe space? And the next thing you know, I got something in my espalda, right? That's not NALEO. That's not the NALEO way. We bring respeto to all these conversations, where someone whose politics differ from yours can still speak without being shut down, can still speak without being canceled, can still speak without being mocked, can still speak where they know they are going to be respected and received. That doesn't mean I have to agree with what you say, but it means that I am going to come at you with grace, respect, and love. And now they're dancing up here. Oh, for the Tabasco sauce. I thought it was for my remarks. No, she wants Cholula. You come to New Mexico, I'll give you some green chili and knock your socks off. Huh? Look, the next 3 days, professionalism isn't just a formality. Let's make it a practice. Let's give that grace and that love to one another, because this space is unique. At a time when polarization is deeper than ever, NALEO remains this unique space that attracts people who share common values despite political disagreement. Let me say that again. Shares common values despite political disagreement. And those values are what? Familia, cultura, herencia, comunidad. These are our values. This is why we ran for office. This is why we accepted an appointment. This is why we work for that principle. When you come here, Democrats, Republicans, Independents, they're going to sit next to each other and they're going to work to find common goals, share ideas that are universal. It's not easy to sustain this, and quite frankly, it's not for everyone. It takes certain kinds of leaders to be able to be interested in building alongside political foes than tearing each other down. Let us be the prior, not the latter. I ask you as members and guests and leaders to engage here in a way that you'd want to be engaged. Hear a range of perspectives in this room and be respectful of one another. Disagree with grace. I always just wanted somebody to say I was graceful. I'm working on that. We've created this space and had a vision for this space for 50 years. The NALEO standard. It has been earned. It has been your work that's made that possible. Whether this is your first conference or your 34th conference, we're thrilled you're here. Whether you're the former Speaker of the House of New Mexico, Raymond Sanchez, and there's an award named after you, and you're the former president of NALEO, or whether this is your very first time out and you're a young elected official from your community, we're here to support you, to believe in you, to be inspired by you because of your servant's heart. I want to kind of land this plane in a very personal way. You see, I opened with community seeing you and that being a reflection of themselves. Well, I want to tell you that 43 years ago, My father was dying from muscular dystrophy. And at about 12, 13, 14, wasn't quite in high school yet, my mom's young friend, who was about 20 at the time, took me to a political rally in Belen, New Mexico. And I didn't know what a political rally was. But he took me. And at that political rally, I saw two individuals, a father and a son. A humble baker from Valencia County, Gil Sanchez, who was also a judge. You could be a baker and a judge in New Mexico. Qué lindo, no? And I heard him speak, and then I heard his son speak. And this Latino gave a speech that knocked my socks off, that made the hair on my arm stand up, because he communicated that my current circumstances of poverty, that I was burying my father, that no one in my family had ever gone to college, that I had my father's dream that a man who could barely speak English could raise a son that could actually go to college when he only made it through 8th grade. That dream was something that could be realized because Raymond Sanchez said, you too can move forward. Your current circumstances do not have to dictate your future results. And when my hair was standing up on my arms, I told Scott Scanlon, I said, Scott, I don't know what he does, but that's what I want to do. He said, well, he's a lawyer and he's the Speaker of the House. And I said, you know what? I got a dream. Now I don't just have my father's dream that I'd be the first in his family to go to college and get a degree. I have a dream that I'm going to live my father's dream, but then I'm going to go to law school, then I'm going to serve the people of New Mexico in elected office, and I'm going to do that trying to serve that debt of gratitude that I have to community for survival. Check, 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 check. We did it. And that's because Raymond Sanchez took that stage and inspired this little mocosito, this little pecoso. And actually at the time I wasn't little, I was a heavy-set dude, 4 eyes. My glasses were so strong you could burn the ants on the playground with them. You know, Zig Ziglar used to say, if you don't have goals and you don't write them down, you're just a wandering generality. And let me just tell you what this story looks like at the end. Because not only does this first generation college graduate stand before you as NALEO president, because Raymond Sanchez, where are you, Raymond? Mr. Speaker, Mr. President, I will just say because of his inspiring words, he was the orator of his day and beyond. But those words brought me to where I am. And when you're giving those speeches in your communities, when you are inspiring that next generation, when that young person is looking up and seeing a reflection of themselves, just know that not only are you changing that life, you are changing family trees for generations to become. Because one generation out from the poverty I grew up in, a few years after my dad died at 49, I was a teenager. I didn't have a single blood relative in New Mexico. My car was repossessed. I did not have a place to stay but for the couches that my friends allowed me to sleep on. I carried everything I owned in a black plastic trash bag. The thing is this, because community filled the gap for me, and after 10 years got that bachelor's degree, went to law school, ran for public office, lost, ran for public office, won, ran for public office, lost. Qué bárbaro. At least one time they said, we might as well put him to work, he's never going to stop running. But let me just say this. My father never lived to see any of that. But one generation later, one generation from that poverty and that black plastic trash bag, my son graduates from Albuquerque Public High School, gets a presidential scholarship to go to George Washington University, and in 4 years becomes a biomedical engineer. That's what success looks like when you invest in our community. That's what it means when you're giving that speech and inspiring that young Latino leader, when that young Latina is there, when that young woman of color sees you in a position of power and capacity, Ms. Nicola. It matters how we lead and how we present. One generation later, my dad didn't live to see it. Congressman Roy Ball didn't live to see it. But I know both of them would love that story. The people in this room are providing an opportunity for some little red-headed Puerto Rican Jew that needs a little inspiration. When you smile, when you stop on the way back to your car to shake that little child's hand, you could be changing a life. You could be that Raymond Sanchez for that little child. And don't you forget it. Every bill you champion, every decision you make, every time you bring grace to a conversation as opposed to colorful language that I don't care left or right, all of a sudden the F word is okay on social media, on your platforms. Basta. Children are watching. Children are watching. Remember when this space was about decorum? I hope that the people in this room can bring some of that decorum back. Every young person you mentor is the opportunity to change the landscape in your community. You are changing trajectories for generations to come. That's the power of this NALEO network. Never underestimate the relationships that you're making at this table, because they will take you from where you are to where you have the capacity to be. Whether you are Kaiser Permanente, whether you are State Farm, whether you are Walmart, you are investing in this room to be able to have this dialogue, to have these relationships that will serve you for 10, 15, and 20 years. When I look out, I see a lot of people who wrote me a lot of little checks because I never stopped running. And there were Republicans and Democrats who wrote those checks and who gave me counsel. I'm sweating, no? Look, let me close with, I've got a profound personal connection to this organization, but more importantly, to the work that the leaders in this room do. It matters. It took me from where I was to where I am. As hard as it is to believe, I got to go from couch surfing to be in this room with these distinguished leaders and to being your servant as president of NALEO. As I take on this role, I just want to tell you, I intend to put in some energy. If you haven't guessed, I got a little energy. We're going to raise NALEO's profile as the leading voice for Latino elected and appointed officials in this country. We've earned that seat. It's time we occupy it fully. It is time right now, right here. It begins on our 50th anniversary. Second, we're going to give you more outreach, current and potential, because the strength of this network is community and ideas. Third, we're going to sharpen our voice in that public policy space. When the issues in front of us, and this is where difficult dialogue happens, but when the issues in that public policy space deeply impact our community, staying quiet's not an option. The stakes are too high. We can't be quiet. Finally, our goal, the staff that's leaner and meaner and more impactful than ever. They're going to work to give you the tools that you need to face whatever comes next. Whether it's new or familiar, because chances are someone in this room has an idea that can lift you up. Chances are, when you've got a community in disaster, there might be a sponsor that you met at this event that you can pick up the phone and call and say, can you help me better understand what my community is facing. It is a chance that you have that you can get only here at NALEO. And working on these items are my commitment. And the fact that we can be together this week and exchange ideas and perspectives, we really know that nowhere else are you going to be able to talk to a school board member that is dealing with a parent who's trying to understand the impact of social media, as well as a United States senator who's dealing with a war overseas. This room is a very unique space, and it happens because you showed up in record numbers. We sold this event out days ago. That's unbelievable. That's because of people like Alejandra and communicating to community about the value of the work that takes place here. So look, my job is to make you a bigger and better champion. I work for you. As your president, I work for you. So while I love all the selfies, in fact, keep them coming. Hashtag NM Brian Colon. This message brought to you by Singleton Shriver Law. Am I allowed to say that I work for Singleton Shriver? Look, see, she's getting uncomfortable again. Look, I'm closing. She's like, land the plane, Colon. You've been closing for 10 minutes. I'm grateful for the opportunities that allow us to come together and make this happen. I know that it's rare. I know it's exceptional, and it wouldn't be possible if you didn't say yes. I'm willing to sit across the table from a Republican. I'm willing to sit across the table from a Democrat. I'm willing to sit across from the table from an independent, because it matters to have those conversations. And let me just tell you, ask people about their journey. You never know. You might just have an opportunity to meet the former United States Treasurer, you know, the head of the Department of Treasury, like right here. She's always in her glory. And let me just say, you will never be disappointed when you build a relationship. Relationships are priceless, and the ones you build in this room will serve you for a lifetime. Look, here's the deal. Enough. See, I already got the hook like 5 minutes ago, but now I'm landing. I'm ready. Look, she's even rolling the fingers. She's going to throw that chancla next. Look, I just want to recognize some partners. We're gonna bring up Madam Mayor. We already got it. We're good to go. Before we continue, I got to recognize some of the partners who made all of this possible. This record-breaking conference for our 50th anniversary. Our presenting partners this year are Coca-Cola. Who needs a good, refreshing Coca-Cola? How about Kaiser Permanente right over here? I got my Coca-Cola family, my Kaiser Permanente family. Thank you so much. My State Farm family. Where's my State Farm family? Right here, front and center. Very engaged in the remarks. Thank you very much. None of them fell asleep this last 15, 20 minutes, however long I've been going. And then someone who's been with us also for a lifetime, Wells Fargo. Thank you for your partnership. We are so grateful. We can't do this without you. Their investment in this conference is an investment in comunidad. We don't take it lightly. You stand front and center so we can do the work we do. Now, it's my honor to welcome to the stage someone who needs no introduction, someone who continues to be part of the national dialogue on a daily basis, somebody who does the lift without needing the glory. She just gets in there and does the work, like so many women of color who lead, because she is our leader right here in this community, the City of Angels, Los Angeles. Get on your feet. Aplauso por alcalde Karen Bass. Madam Mayor.
Oh, good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and thank you for such a warm, warm, warm welcome. Well, let me just say that, first of all, didn't you love that speech? I was having a great time. I didn't know that he was also a comedian, but clearly he is. Wonderful, wonderful leader. Thank you so much for your welcome and your support and your leadership of NALEO. Past leader, Arturo Vargas, known each other for a long time and known NALEO for most of the 50 years and always happy to be of support. But it's an honor to welcome you who are not from Los Angeles to Los Angeles, our great city here. You're coming in the World Cup, which we are very excited about hosting the games that we hosted here, but also you should know all throughout the city to make sure that the World Cup comes to the neighborhoods. We have what we call Kick It in the Park, because I know you've seen how expensive those World Cup tickets are, but we wanted our community to benefit from the World Cup, and especially communities that were impacted by last year's raids. The economic impact that that has had on many parts of our city and to the majority population, that those businesses that were hurt, when we have Kick It in the Park, then the vendors can come out, and we said, make some money, get that revenue back that you've lost and that you have been suffering from. But I do have to say, in our great city, we have great leaders. You should know that. Now, I spotted one of those great leaders who is here, and that's Monica Rodriguez. Where are you? Stand up and get your flowers. Because I want you to know she is a bold, strong leader in our city, and stay tuned. So let me just say that last year, just in June 6th of last year, our city was devastated. We are a city that has always prided ourselves in being inclusive of everyone that was here, and we faced what we felt was an attack. And it was an attack that we could have never, ever imagined. Having the U.S. military on our streets, essentially terrorizing people, was devastating. But I have to tell you something. I was so proud of our city because there wasn't one crack of support. Our city came together because we have always supported people, regardless of where they came from, when they got here, or why they're here, or what papers they had in their hand. We have always stood together and supported our communities. And I will tell you that it started here, but we knew this was going to spread around the country. And so right away, I started working with mayors all around the country. We continue to work together, sharing experiences and sharing how we can respond and have an effective counter. We've shared each other's strategies, each other's policies, and we will continue to do that because the message we have sent clearly is that we will never, ever allow our city to be divided. But I have to say that we use the World Cup as an opportunity to bring people together in a hopeful manner and had the watch parties that I described. But we're also doing this to lay the groundwork and to practice, frankly, it's our dress rehearsal for the big one, which is in 2028, hosting the world's largest Olympics in history. Los Angeles is one of 3 cities in world history that will host the Olympics for the 3rd time. Our theme on the city level is Games for All, because we don't want anybody to feel excluded from the Olympics, and most importantly, and this is major impact on the Latino community, we want our small businesses to thrive, not just the usual suspects, but affirmatively and aggressively fight for our small businesses to economically benefit from the games. And so the dress rehearsal was the Kick It in the Park activities. When I was in Paris around the Olympics, I saw that they had these programs in all neighborhoods where there were watch parties, but there were also activations, kids' sports, and the entire community of Paris felt like you were involved in the Olympics, even if only a few people went. And that's what we're going to do here, and we practiced with our 100 watch parties in all of our parks to make sure that we bring these resources to everyone. Now, unfortunately, a major sector of the Los Angeles community in East LA, Boyle Heights, is now experiencing another tragedy. A fire that you might have heard about, a warehouse fire, has led to an environmental justice issue where that community is suffering today from a warehouse that burnt, where there's 85 million pounds of rotting food that is really impacting the neighborhood. But it raises the question for me of environmental justice, which is a key issue that impacts our communities of color, where we have thousands of warehouses, we don't know what is in those, and we need to find out. So hopefully we can prevent a future negative impact, especially on health and safety in our neighborhoods. So raising it as an issue that is an environmental justice issue that all of your communities face too, because that is something that happens in our communities. But I view all of these problems, even if they are a crisis, as an opportunity to bring people together, to fight for change and to fight for a better quality of life. So I want to welcome you to Los Angeles, a city of dreams, the entertainment capital of the world, a city that is hopeful, a city that knows that we are a city of dreams and of hopes and of aspirations and inclusivity, where basically everyone from the world lives in Los Angeles. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the city. I hope you enjoy your stay here. And please, those of you who are not from LA, come back in 2028. Attend the Olympics. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, on behalf of State Farm, one of our conference presenting partners, Mr. Axel Del Cid, Vice President, California Customer Relations for State Farm General.
All right. Hey, can we give it up for Brian for bringing the energy this morning? And of course for Mayor Bass for being present here and giving her remarks as well. All right, so buenos días y bienvenidos a Los Angeles. My name is Axel Del Cid, and I'm Vice President of California Customer Relations with State Farm General. On behalf of more than 62,000 State Farm employees and over 19,000 State Farm agents across the United States, it is my distinct honor to bring greetings and congratulations as we gather to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the NALEO Educational Fund and the 43rd Annual Conference. Congratulations to all of you here today on reaching this extraordinary milestone. For 5 decades, the NALEO Educational Fund has equipped elected and appointed officials with the tools, connections, and strategies to lead effectively while inspiring civic participation and strengthening communities across our nation. Through its programs and outreach, the organization has empowered more than 250,000 aspiring citizens, demonstrating that meaningful change begins with the power of participation. This year's conference theme, Celebrating Where We Began, Building What Comes Next, is a fitting reflection of both your remarkable legacy and your vision for the future. As you honor 50 years of leadership under the anniversary theme, 50 Years of Leadership, One Mission for the Future, you also reaffirm commitment to preparing the next generation of leaders to serve their communities with purpose and integrity. State Farm is proud to have partnered with NALEO Educational Fund since 1999, folks. More than 25 years of working together to strengthen communities through leadership, education, and civic engagement. We're also honored to celebrate this milestone alongside you. At State Farm, our mission is to help people manage the risks of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and realize their dreams. That mission extends beyond insurance. It means helping individuals, families, and communities become stronger and better prepared for whatever lies ahead. That commitment has never been more important than here in California today. As communities continue moving forward following the devastating Los Angeles wildfires, we remain committed to supporting recovery, building resilience, and standing beside our customers and neighbors for the long term. Year to date, folks, we have delivered on our promise in the tune of over $6 billion to survivors in both the Palisades and Eaton. And we're very, very proud of how our folks have shown up to serve them. And the job is not done until every customer and survivor gets back home, wherever they may call home. In many ways, that commitment mirrors the work of the NALEO Educational Fund. Just as State Farm helps people prepare and recover from life's unexpected challenges, NALEO equips leaders with the knowledge, relationships, and resources they need to navigate challenges, serve effectively, and build stronger communities. For more than 100 years, State Farm has believed that strong neighborhoods are built through partnerships. That belief is why we continue investing in organizations like the NALEO Educational Fund, organizations whose work creates lasting impact across generations. Congratulations once again on 50 years of leadership, service, and impact. Thank you for allowing State Farm to be a part of this incredible journey. We wish you an inspiring conference filled with meaningful conversations, new connections, and continued success as you build what comes next. Felicidades por estos 50 años de impacto, que tengan una conferencia muy excelente y muchas gracias por la oportunidad.
All right, thank you, Mr. Del Cid. You crushed it. I'm just going to call him El Guapo, man. That was awesome. That was awesome. And thank you to State Farm for your partnership and your commitment to the communities we serve and the work we do with integrity, as you said, Mr. Del Cid. Now look, please join me in welcoming another one of our conference presenting partners. We're going to bring him out to the stage, and it's a friend to NALEO for many, many years. But we want to say thank you, Mr. Del Cid and State Farm. But now bring out Mr. Ruben Barrales, Senior Vice President. You know, the guy commands an audience and the stage, and I got to give you his title before he takes the mic. He is the Senior Vice President, Mr. Vice President, from Wells Fargo and former NALEO Education Fund board member. But he never goes away. He's always giving us the guidance and the leadership that we need from his perspective. I consider him personal counsel, and we're glad you're here. Thank you, Ruben. Give it up for Ruben Barrales.
Brian, thank you for your remarks earlier, and congratulations to you on your new role. I want to recognize as well Mayor of Downey, Claudia Formenta, for her leadership leading NALEO in the last few years as well. Claudia, thank you for that. I always have to start off my remarks with apologies to the Wells Fargo communications team that worked so hard on my remarks, which I'm not going to use, their prepared remarks. So I've seen NALEO grow tremendously over the last few years. I'm not just a sponsor of NALEO, I was a NALEO member. I was elected to the San Mateo County Board of Supervisors when I was 29 years old, many, many decades ago, and became a member of NALEO, and have always appreciated the network, the family, and the support that I've received from NALEO, and I'm so glad to be able to give back in my role here at Wells Fargo, being a longtime sponsor of this incredible organization. Leadership is more important now than ever. And I don't care if folks are on a sanitation board, education board, mayor of their city, an assembly person, in Congress, in the White House. Today, we're living in the future right now. Driverless cars, robots, AI, cryptocurrency, and you are what people look to when they say we need leadership in these times. We need to set guardrails for how our society is going to cope with and hopefully take positive advantage of these technologies and advances. But it starts with you all. So when you're looking for who's going to determine how we as a society deal with all of these new technologies, these new public policy challenges, it's you in your current roles and those of you that are going to move into state and federal offices as well. And I think there's no better place than NALEO in terms of a network that you can plug into, and I really encourage you to plug into this network. Last thing I'm going to say, oh yeah, the commercial for Wells Fargo. But you know, home loans, bank accounts, we will work with you, community relations, housing affordability is important, to, small business growth, financial health. talk to me or some of our Wells Fargo folks if you're interested in that. Last thing, two things I want to do. Number one, I want to recognize two of my colleagues, Karina Ruiz and Patty Juarez, who are here, who are lead incredible engagements focused on Latino community and uplifting Latino community across the country. So please connect with them if you're interested. And then finally, I'm like Brian Colon, finally. I want to, not because I'm a sponsor, but I am on the NALEO Education Fund Board. You know we're living in these times that include anti-DE&I, a push against celebration of diversity and the like. And it's affected organizations like NALEO and so many organizations I know that you're involved in. The organizations that support NALEO today, we need to thank them. And it's not self-serving, yeah, that's thankful, but thank you to all the sponsors of NALEO, because there's so many that have stepped away. And the ones that are here, we need to celebrate, we need to thank them. And even beyond that, it's not just the company, it's the individuals from those companies, because those individuals, like a Patty Juarez, for example, Wells Fargo is a supporter of so many Latino organizations and efforts across the country. But it's because Patty Juarez, because there are others that can't touch them or won't touch them or are afraid of all the anti-D&I pushback. But because these companies like State Farm, like Kaiser Permanente, like Coca-Cola, have individuals that work in those companies that support the work that groups like NALEO do, that's why we're able to hold conferences like this and build this network. So thanks to our sponsors for being here. Thank you all for participating. Look forward to working with you. Thanks. I know somebody's coming out next. I just don't know who. Okay. So as I was saying, okay, I'm wrapping up. Okay.
You know, you never want to take a sponsor off the stage, so I was just going to let him keep going as long as he wanted. Thank you, Mr. Barrales. You really are a friend in NALEO, and we're grateful for the support you and Wells Fargo continue to give. That commitment to our community, the Latino community, and your partnership with this organization is truly priceless. I just want to take a moment to spotlight something very close to my heart, and I think when you learn about their work and their story, it will be close to your heart as well. It's the NALEO Service Project this year. This year, we're supporting the Children's Burn Foundation. It's an organization here in Los Angeles that provides critical care and support to burn survivors and their families. I know communities that rely upon this work. I know families that rely upon this work. And our engagement with them in our service project, the NALEO Service Project, actually matters. And it will touch your heart and make it grow if you do engage. So throughout the conference, you'll have an opportunity to participate. For those of you that have been to conference before, you know that we try and do this. But I hope every person in this room, which I think is about 600, because we've got about 1,100 registrants, and the team is amazing because they can actually calculate how many are going to sleep in this morning and how many are going to show up for breakfast. I said, there's only like 600 seats here. Where are we going to put everybody? Like, no, they'll be sleeping this morning. You know, they might have been out with Mondo last night, so they're sleeping today. If you know, you know. I hope every person in this room takes just a few minutes to participate. So it's my pleasure to welcome another incredible leader to our stage. They are presenting sponsors, and their commitment to our community, it runs deep. And it's been there for many, many years. It is unquestionables. And I just want to say, I have enjoyed the pleasure of the friendship that Jennifer has extended, the kindness that Jennifer has extended, and the leadership and inspiring way she approaches her work in a very personal way over the years. And I just want to ask you to welcome the Group Director, Political Strategy and Advocacy from the Coca-Cola Company, Ms. Jennifer Zinicola.
Hello, everyone. So Coca-Cola is back. You guys remember the NALEO reception last year at the World of Coke? Well, we are in Atlanta. Yes, that was fun. Well, we are hoping to top that today at a Coca-Cola supported watch party. So please come back in this room, and the theme will be very clear. Very obvious. It's wonderful to be back with all of you, and I'm especially pleased to recognize colleagues here in the front row, table 5, from Reyes Coca-Cola Bottling and Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages, and colleagues from the Coca-Cola Company who return to NALEO year after year, not simply to attend, but to build relationships and engage on the issues that matter. Our beverages are virtually in every community in the U.S. and territory. We come to these discussions with a deep knowledge of the communities because we serve in those communities. We know the opportunities and we know that the challenges that communities face, and we want to be constructive partners in policy discussions that impact your work and ours. So while we convene as Hispanic leaders or leaders that are advancing the Hispanic community, we also recognize that it's about strengthening opportunities for all communities. The issues we discuss here are deeply interconnected with the success of neighborhoods, families, and businesses across the country. So on behalf of the Coca-Cola family, thank you for your leadership, your partnership, and we look forward to the week ahead.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for the Coca-Cola Company's deep commitment and partnership with NALEO. Your generosity is deeply appreciated and not forgotten. Our next presenting sponsor this morning has been committed to the healthcare landscape and well-being of our communities and those communities that we serve. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Michelle Gaskell-Himes, Regional President of Kaiser Permanente, Southern California, and of course, the beautiful state of Hawaii.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I want to thank President Colon again, first of all, for the inspiring remarks this morning, but also for a very good memory. I was one of those children whose mom put that Vicks Vapor Rub on the shoes with the socks when I was 6. So thank you very, very much. Good morning, NALEO. Good morning, NALEO. Thank you, thank you. It is an honor and a privilege to be here with you today. Kaiser Permanente is actually thrilled to be a presenting partner for this conference and to kick off your 43rd conference right here where it all began here in Los Angeles. We actually love big anniversaries. We actually just celebrated our 80th anniversary at Kaiser Permanente just last year. And we're proud of the impact that NALEO has made across the communities. You have a rich history. You stand proudly, and we stand proudly as your partner and supporter and your steadfast cheerleader. We want to honor your good work today, this week, and all year long as you share your diverse experiences, you debate bold ideas, you strategize for change, and you go forth to bring positive impact to your constituents and your communities. Kaiser Permanente is proud to provide medical care to almost 13 million individuals across the U.S. Our nonprofit mission is to provide quality and affordable health care and improve the health of the communities we serve. And we're excited to bring our better idea for health care to even more communities. And we want to connect with you while you're here during this conference. So we hope you will stop by outside. We've got a Kaiser Permanente booth there with a lounge for you to rest, and we will actually have massage chairs, free massages. So make sure you make our way to our booth a little bit later today. And do we have any World Cup fans? Have you been watching the games? So for all of our FIFA fans, we want you to drop your business card off at our table. We are sponsoring the watch party tomorrow, and we'll have a special raffle and a prize. So stop by our table, get a massage, drop off your card, and we really want to celebrate, and we want you to have an amazing conference. On behalf of Kaiser Permanente, our 240,000 employees across the country, we commend you. We commend the NALEO CEO, Erica Bernal. I think she's in the back, and we celebrate her. We celebrate all the board members, our fellow corporate sponsors, and all of you here today. Congratulations on your 43rd conference, your 50th anniversary. Felicidades and adelante.
All right. So we got another fan in the Vicks Vapor Rub Club. All right. Thank you so much. We are so grateful for you and thankful to Kaiser Permanente for the partnership and your continued and enduring commitment to the health of Latino communities coast to coast. I'm now honored to welcome to the stage a leader and champion for our communities in the California legislature. You're going to meet some outstanding leaders and some inspiring leaders, and I want you to join me in welcoming the California State Senator and Chair of the California Latino Legislative Caucus, the Honorable Honorable Lina Gonzalez. Baile.
Good morning, everyone. Buenos dias. How are we doing today? Okay, we're awake. That's good. Doesn't President Colon look amazing with that bolo tie today? I told him he looks fascinating, along with his amazing speech. So it's an honor to be with you all today. I'm California State Senator Lina Gonzalez, proudly representing the amazing California Legislative Latino Caucus. We are 38 members strong, 35 legislators, 3 constitutional officers, and over 50 years ago, we only started with 5 of us. Can you imagine that? How fast we've grown in the state of California. I want to give a many thanks to CEO Erica Bernal, President Colon, former President Vargas, who we've been very, very close to as a Latino caucus, our NALEO board members, and the many elected officials here today. NALEO has long represented something that is much bigger than politics. It is represented, as many of you know, servant leadership, and the belief that when Latinos have a seat at the table, our communities are stronger. Today, we know that many Latino families are dealing with the devastating impacts across our country, whether that is ICE detention centers, whether it's ICE raids, cuts on healthcare and education and beyond. They're not my feelings, it's what's happening now. And they are worried about loved ones and their children and about the future generation that we all have a stake in, and ensuring that they are being treated with every ounce of dignity that they deserve. And all the while, our Latino community has built businesses, served in our military. How many veterans do we have here today? All right. Cared for our neighbors, labored in the fields to put food on the table, and helped shape this nation. And in California, we are the 4th largest economy, and it is Latinos, mark my words, Latinos that have made this state the 4th largest economy. And regardless of where we stand politically, I believe we can all agree on one thing. Our Latino communities deserve to be treated with respect. And as chair of this caucus, yes, let's give that a big round of applause. And as chair of this caucus, we have one goal. We might be progressives, we might be moderates, we might be in the middle, but we have one goal: to be the voice of every Latino, regardless of the job they do, regardless of their skin color, the education they've received, their country of origin. And I'm appreciative to NALEO for providing a platform and ensuring that every Latino elected official who is here does everything to strengthen that leadership, to uplift our voices, and to ensure that we are the priority. So with that, I want to say thank you for continuing to open the doors, and for our future generations to prioritizing our future generations, not just for hope, but for the opportunities that ensue. It starts here in this room with us. Thank you so much. Gracias a todos.
Thank you, Senadora Gonzalez, and thanks for your leadership and tireless advocacy in the caucus and outside the caucus on behalf of Latino communities throughout California. So look, this is, of my service, this will be truly one of those very, very deeply special moments. It's a genuine pleasure to introduce a dear friend and a leader that I get to not just admire, but get to work with. Many years ago, his first event happened in my living room, and people didn't know who this person was. I knew him as a community champion, a community advocate, a community organizer, and somebody who had clarity of his convictions. And it was an honor to host him in my home. He went on in a very short period of time to become the New Mexico Speaker of the House. Welcome, Mr. Honorable Javier El Mero Mero de Nuevo Mexico Martinez. Hermano.
Buenos días. Buenos días, que se oiga. Así me gusta, así me gusta. Thank you, Brian. You've been a dear friend, and you've mentored more young people of color than I can count. And many of us are in this room. Also, thank you to the entire NALEO family for the invitation to join you today and for all of the good, hard work that you do day in and day out. I'm incredibly grateful to be here among this incredible group of Latino lawmakers and public servants who are change makers across this country. Now, is it time for the World Cup? There's a game today, right? I just remembered. Like many of you, this whole month, my kid and I, Camilo, we've been glued to the TV watching almost every game. And as I look out in this room and I see all those beautiful brown faces, I'm reminded of Team Mexico's rally cry during the World Cup. ECC. ECC. Repeat after me, ECC. Now, look, like many of you, I'm still grieving Team Mexico's loss to England, but the spirit of that rally cry lives on. Why? Because it encourages us to imagine the unimaginable. You see, when I was 8 years old, my dad loaded up our family in the back of his friend's dusty yellow van down in Juarez, Chihuahua, to make our way to the United States. And trust me, at the time it would have felt unimaginable that one day I would speak to a room full of elected officials as a Speaker of the House in the state of New Mexico. Thank you. Thank you. Many years later, when I was a community organizer advocating for universal child care, having doors shutting my face in the same legislature that I now get to run, it felt unimaginable that one day New Mexico would offer a constitutional right to universal child care, first state in the nation to accomplish that. And I'm sure that when NALEO was founded 50 years ago, its founders probably thought it was unimaginable to one day have thousands of elected and appointed Latino officials sitting in a room like we do today. And yet, here we are. Now, despite the marginalization and the disinvestments our communities have faced, despite all too often being overlooked and undervalued, especially in politics, look at us now. We are our ancestors' wildest dreams, and we are catalysts of meaningful progress across every level of government, from school boards all the way up to the U.S. Congress. So this week, I encourage all of us to ask ourselves, what unimaginable thing is next? Is it an economy that puts workers and families first? Is it a stronger, more sustainable future for the next generations? A country where everyone has access to housing, to health care, to jobs and the education that they deserve. ECC? 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 Look, I know that we can. Yes, we can, because we have fought hard for and rightfully earned our seats at the table. Hell, in most cases, it's our people building the damn tables that we sit at now. It makes a big difference when elected officials truly reflect the people that we represent. And I've seen it firsthand in New Mexico. In New Mexico, we are proud to have one of the most diverse caucuses in the entire nation. We come from diverse backgrounds and experiences. We've got educators, we've got veteranos, small business owners, working families serving in our legislature, and immigrants as well. And our legislature is the first female majority in the history of this country. It happened in New Mexico a few years ago. Now, that representation matters, not just because constituents should be able to see themselves in their elected officials, but because effective representation actually results in better policies. You all know that. In New Mexico, the diversity of our caucus has led to the best cradle or career education system in the nation, from universal childcare to free school lunches, to fully funded apprenticeship programs and tuition-free college, all happening in New Mexico. And folks, we're just getting started. New Mexico has some of the best safeguards in the country for reproductive health care, for voting rights, and for immigrant communities. We're the only state to have backfilled the expired federal subsidies to keep Obamacare affordable for working people. Thank you. Thank you. We have incredibly ambitious climate goals with more than half of our electricity today coming from clean energy sources. And you know what else is true in New Mexico? We're not only the second highest producer of oil and gas in the country, we are also home to the largest renewable energy infrastructure project in the Western Hemisphere in New Mexico. Thank you. We have the most improved tax fairness in the nation and robust programs to create more opportunities for our young people and entrepreneurs. We are building systems in real time that put working families first, and we are achieving, indeed, the unimaginable. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't recognize my partners in the legislature who are in the room. I'm going to ask you to stand up because I get to say all these things, but it's them that are doing the work. If you're a state house or a state senator from New Mexico, please rise, be recognized. Thank you guys for being here. All across this country, we are seeing state legislatures and local governments, many led by people in this room, making similar progress. And still, I know that right now it's challenging. It's challenging times, as President Colon noted earlier. Lorenzo and Joan and all the others who have been killed, who have been detained, who have been deported, separated from their families. And I know it can feel very easy to just be overwhelmed and maybe even depressed at what's happening, or maybe even just become numb to it and lose compassion for one another. You know, I would be lying to you if I didn't admit that I wonder if my parents would have made it migrating today to this country, not only with the growing vitriol and disregard for immigrants, but also just how expensive life is today. And I don't know that they would have made it. But the last thing we can lose is hope. The last thing we can lose is the resilience that was instilled in us by those who came before us. The dishwashers, the construction workers, the truck drivers, the housekeepers, the people on whose foundation we stand on, the people on whose shoulders we stand on today. The will to overcome is part of who we are as Latinos. We work hard. We value our communities. We show up. We lead by example. And you know what? We get the job done. We get the job done. We have achieved the unimaginable before, and we can and we must remain that shining star of all that is possible when we stick together, when we work together on behalf of our community. ¿Vale? ¿Y si sí? ¿Y si sí? ¿Y si sí? Que se oiga. ¿Y si sí? Gracias, NALEO. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Well, I appreciate my brother coming up here and doing this great set of remarks to light us on fire. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We're grateful that you were able to join us at this incredible conference. Look, we are off to a great start. Agree or agree? This morning has reminded us of why we come together, why NALEO matters, and this is a network of leaders that year after year keep showing up for one another. We've got a remarkable 3 days ahead for you. I'm grateful to be your host. I can't wait to see what we accomplish together. And I just want to say thanks again to our sponsors. One more round of applause. We couldn't be more grateful. Thank you all very, very much. And to you, I wish you a wonderful conference. I know that we finished this conference, and then we got the finals, and then I get to see my incredible friend Shakira perform at halftime at the World Cup. So that's what I'm looking forward to on Sunday, and I want you to have a beautiful conference. Thank you for joining us. My name is Brian Colon, and that is the end of your opening program. Have a beautiful day.